Just now
We have been discussed in the yesterday session. To give a quick recap, so first of all, we have been shown that installation of this particular TestNG, and once after installation, how to check whether the TestNG is there installed properly or not. And then what we have done is how to create TestNG class. We have been seen it, and how to execute that particular TestNG class from the class level. And then what is the basic annotation which we have been written at the rate. So at the rate test we have been used, and then we have been seen from TestNG XML file, so how we can create a multiple files and then we can execute it, and how the console results we need to read and understand we have been understood, and then how to execute multiple class files, multiple TestNG XML class files we have been gone through, and then how the results test output folder would be generated, and once this test output folder generated, how this particular TestNG result.xml file will be there, and how this particular HTML file would be generated, and what are the different type of annotations we have, and what is the hierarchy of that particular things, hierarchy of this particular annotations we have been discussed. Now for today, what we have been asked for, hey, go through the detailed level of annotations and go through the detailed level of the attributes which it will be used in the annotations. So these are the two things which we have been asked for. Okay, let's jump into this particular implementations, because already you people have been done on this particular implementations. Right now I'll give it more detail, more informative on this one. If you have any questions or anything, so feel free to ask me on that. Okay, now let me go back to this particular links which I have been shared you yesterday. So hope you guys are able to see my screen, right?
No, sir.
No, no, sir.
no, sir.
Okay, so I was sharing that one. Okay, now you are able to see it, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Sir.
So now these are the three links which I have been shared for you to go through. The next one is this. Okay, as I told you, so this would be the first preference of choice you need to go through. Second link is this, and third link is this. You'll have a detailed level of implementation on this particular TestNG implementation. If you read this one, that's enough. Whatever the question in the interviews the people are asking, you will easily able to say that. And once again, guys, always don't prepare for the interviews. You need to understand the concepts. Try to understand the concept and you put it in your own words. You put it in your own language. It really doesn't matter. But understanding the concept is more important. Now, let's jump into this. Now, I wanted to talk from the annotation point of view. Now, what are the annotations we have it? So first of all, yesterday we have been quickly implemented and seen that particular implementation from the Eclipse, which is at the rate test, and then before test and after test. So these are the things which we have been seeing it, right?
Before
let me
method
open this
and
one.
after method, sir. We have done.
Oh, before method and after method.
Yes,
Cool.
sir.
Guys, so normally the people try to confuse you. So for the suits and the tests and the class, they will ask you from the point of hierarchies. Hey, can you tell me what are the hierarchy we do have it? So those hierarchies they're probably asking about it. Let's see that. Let's see that how the things goes on. Now, means yesterday we have been created this one, right? Now yesterday, this is what first we have been created a package for the test engine. These are all just these are what we say. So these are all the Java sessions we have it from. We have been taken it from the TestNG yesterday, right? So now first we have been created this particular boss ng. In this particular boss ng, so we have been created four methods. Four methods we have been given, and then at the rate test we have been given. So now once we have been given the at the rate test, so this particular method start to execute for us, right? So now we have been started executed. So it started executing and it printed me these particular values. Now, when I go for this boss ng, I have implemented, I started implementing this particular the methods. So first we have been taken three methods, which is inbox, outbox, compose mail. And we added before method, after method. And then we have given the priority so that what it will do is, hey, priority 1. So now inbox will be executed first. Let's see that. Let's see that. So now if you see here, now first I have been given box, I'm in box. So now if you see here, that would be printed for the inbox. Second priority, I have been given it for the outbox. So it printed the outbox. Third priority, I given it for compose mail. So that's the reason it printed for the compose mail. Now, every method we have been given before method. So now this annotation, what it will try to do is, this is called a method, right? Line number 19 to 22, this is called a method, right? Usually this is also called as test case in our general testing, right? Now, moving further, what I'll try to say is, rather than saying it is a method, so now I'll be calling this one as a test case. You write a lot of test cases, right, in your manual testing. So when in our course, we have been seen, for an example, if you take in any particular application, you've written a lot of test cases. Now, converting that particular test cases into this one, so the automation scripts, right? That is what the automation called as. Now, this is what all the test cases. Now, these all tests are nothing but my test cases. Before executing this particular test cases, there would be a before method. Now, what it will happen is, in executing of inbox, every time before this will happen and after this will happen. So now what it was happening? So first it opened browser, logged in, and then it went to inbox, perform some action, then log out. Once again for this method, outbox. Now, before for the doing the clicking in the Gmail, you know, right? So I'll be having inbox, outbox, compose. Now, when I wanted to access the inbox, first I need to open the browser, log in, and then come to the inbox. Once after the inbox, I need to close out, right? The same way here, what it will happen. So now these are the before steps, means opening the browser, navigating the URL, login functionality, everything I'll be doing here. Now I'll come to the inbox. I'll do inbox functionality testing, and then I need to complete the outbox. So that outbox is this. Pretty simple, right? Now that you see it. So I'm in login. That's where the login comes. And inbox, this is what I'm in inbox. And then this is logout. I'm logging out. So same way now, second test case, because of the second priority. Now for this is for the outbox. For the outbox, once again, the before method. What is the before method? Login. What is the before method printed? Hey boss, I'm in the login functionality. It printed. Now what it need to do? Boss, I'm in outbox. So now that would be printed in outbox. And then it started with, then it will go for after method. Boss, I'm in logout. I'm in logout. See, this is pretty simple. See, now this will make our life much more better and easier. So at a class, from the class level, the smallest thing is the test case. For this test case, which it should execute before and which it should execute after. So that is what we wanted to give: before method, after method, which is nothing but before test case and after test case. So everyone understood till here?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Any questions?
Yes,
Now what I wanted to do is, so now before method and after method, how many tests I have been written here? For all the tests, this would be executed, right?
yes.
I have 100 methods, means 100 test cases here, means 100 times this would be called. So now how many lines of code it would be saved? So that's the beauty of this particular annotations. See, or else I need to call every time before. See, yesterday while we are implementing it, we have been kept that particular statement here. So this particular statement and this statement. So like this, we have been kept it. So if I wanted to get the same output, what I have done yesterday, see, now I have been kept like this, and I have been kept like this. Okay, this is how we wanted to print. But now what we have done, so this is not really required. So with this particular before and after statement itself, it printed for me. Now what I wanted to do, I wanted to go for the next step. So I implemented @test. I implemented before and after method. Now what is the hierarchy we have in? So now test, simple test, which is the simple test cases, and methods we have been discussed. Now the next hierarchy is at a class level. Now what I wanted to do, I wanted to create two classes, means before and after class. I'm just copying this one, guys, to save the time. Now what I'll try to do, I'll try to say that before, okay, it's better always control space bar, you need to give the first letter capital B and click on this before class. Now I wanted to have after class,
After
right?
class.
So now capital A, control space bar. Now I wanted to go for after
After
class.
class.
Now what I wanted to see that means what it need to do, if I have 100 methods, for all 100 methods, this will be executed only once. This is a class file, right? bigboss.ng_ng is Java. This is a class file. If I wanted to execute this particular class file, if I have 1000 methods, this before class and after class would be executed only for once. So now what I wanted to say that, boss, I'm opening a browser. I'll say that, right? So I'm just opening browser. Some random example I was trying to give it. And then after class, what I'll be trying to say that we have been closed browser, right? I'll say that closing all the browsers. Okay. So now what I'll try to do, I'll give some symbols so that you can see the differences over here. Okay. And the next one, the important thing is we wanted to see the method names because this method name, these method names are same. Now what I wanted to do, I will change this one, open browser. And I'll say that this is close browser. C should be small, as method name should start with the small letters. Okay, browser. Okay, now I given it. Now we seen this all right. I'll do one thing for the separation. SYSO control space bar. So here I'll be giving that some partitions so that it is easy for you to understand. Do this partition in after method so that we can clearly understand, right?
Sir, can you minimize your screen? Maximize your screen.
Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let me do this. Okay, so output is also important for us. So let me keep it here parallel. Now you see here what I did. We implemented first test. So now this is the first step we have been created. Hey, without writing the main method in Java, I'm trying to execute. This is the first thing we have been achieved. Then we have been achieved with before and after method. Now we are implementing with the before and after class. Now what it will happen is just now you see it. See what it happened before class. Now I told you, right? Before starting this one, so first this particular statement is printed. Boss, I'm in the open browser, opening the browser. You see, I'm in the opening browser. And after this one, it went to before class executed, right? Now it went to execute this method. Now for executing this method, what it did, it went to before method so that it printed before. So boss, I'm in login. Now it went to this statement and it started printing that. Boss, I'm in inbox. Boss, I'm in inbox. Now after this one, it should go for after method. So boss, I'm in logout. I'm in logout. And then it printed this line separation. So to have the clarity, I just given that line separation. This method execution is completed. Now it went for the same outbox. Before and after method printed. It went to the third. Before and after printed with the same statement. It done. Now at the last, we have, boss, I'm closing all the browsers, which is in the after class. So this is how the before class and after class will work for us. Now you see here, we seen this is the simple test. Simple test is there, and methods before and after method we have implemented, and classes we have been implemented the simple class, before class and after class. And then we wanted to see now tests and sorts. Till here, any questions? So the class would be, means for this particular class, before starting of execution of this particular class, it will run once, and after the class, it will run once. That's it. It will not work more than that. Any questions still here? Say on simple test, methods, class? Okay. Now I wanted to go with the test. If I implemented this particular test, so how this would be worked? Now what I wanted to do is, I'll take two more things here. Okay. Test means where we will be coming the test. What do you meant by test? What do you meant by test? You guys already implemented this, right? What do you meant by test?
Testing the module.
Madam, I'm asking you from the annotations. What is this before test and after test?
Before class, it will go for test.
See, yesterday, that is the reason I spent some time on this particular XML file. Do you remember? What do you meant by test means? Test can have a group of classes. So now this test, whatever I'm trying to give, okay, you see this one. For a test, this is a test annotation, right? So now these are the HTML tags. Now this is an open tag, and this is a close tag for test. Now for this test, okay, now you seen it, right? This test tag consists of classes tag, and classes tag consists of, this is a plural, right? Now I should have classes. I need to keep the classes here. I can keep the number of classes here. Now for all these classes, this test will run for only once. If I have multiple classes, for multiple classes, this will execute only once. Now I given before class and after class, right? That would be executed here. Guys, always remember in HTML, XML, if you wanted to give the comments, you need to give it in this way. You given it right? Less than symbol, exclamatory mark, double quotes. Now, if you see here, what I means, where we means, if you wanted to implement before class and after class, you would be implementing at a class level only, right? So for this particular class, before class and after class will be used. Now for this particular class, I'll be having before and after class. But before test and after test would be at this level. So now this is before test and after test. So if I have 100 classes here, see, guys, don't get confused. It is very simple, very simple. A class can consist of multiple methods. And for each method, before and after, if I wanted to execute, I use before method and after method. And for this particular class, if I wanted to execute, before class and after class will execute for once. So if I executed the big boss ng, this before class and after class will execute it for once. See, you seen here, right? Once. And in the last. Now, test. If you see here, test consists of multiple classes. So if I implemented something before test and after test, this would be executed for all the classes. Before executing all the classes, this will execute only for once. Test is at this level. You seen it, right? This test at this level. Yes. Now let me implement that particular before test and after test. So what it will happen, we will see it. Okay. Now I'll go back here. I'll go back here. Now, if you see here, we have been implemented. These are before methods. And these are, okay, I copied for writing this one, right? Okay, if I given like this, what it will happen, guys? Can you tell me? I given two before methods in the same class. what it will happen?
It will go one by one.
One by one. You see it? It taken both the things. Now, whatever I have been given it, for an example, to show you the difference, I'll show that second before method. So I can give anything 2 times also over here. Okay, now you see it. Now this is one before method. Actually, I just created this one for before test. I wanted to change the method, but I changed the method names, but I didn't change the annotation. Now you see here, this is our previous before method, and this is now the newly generated before method. Now when I have given this one, what it happened? You see it. You see it.
Yes.
We have the before method which I have been created, this one, and even this before method also. But usually we will not do this implementation. This is not required because whatever the things are there, I'll keep it only one before method. I'll not create multiple before methods. Okay. Now let me once again go here. Let's change this annotation. So I just wanted to change this one for what?
Before test.
That's it. So now I just want to come here. Now what I wanted to do here.
After
Now
test.
I just wanted to have the after test. I have been given this after test. Now what I'll try to say that, boss, this is DB connection. Means actually before execution, I just wanted to connect to some DB. And after execution, I wanted to disconnect to DB. Okay, so now I don't want this statement really. Okay, now let me see here. I give some more any different symbol, so which is percentages, and I'll give some percentages so that it will have the same notation. Okay, now I have been given. See, these notations are stars are different, means are before methods and after method, and this @ symbol is for before classes, and percentage symbols are for our before and after tests. Okay, now let me keep that. See, now as soon as I have that this particular annotation, by default it started importing all. So now you see here @ test, before class, before method, after test, after method, after this, everything has been imported from our packages. Okay, now let me execute this and see here. Now you see it. At once only this would be executed. You see, this is a test, and this is at a class, and this is at a method, before and after method. Then you can ask, hey, now what is the difference between the class and this method? So even the class is also executing only once, and test is also executing once. But always you remember that before test and after test would run for multiple classes and multiple things. Now, if you're executing this one from this particular class, that's the reason we are getting it. Now, yesterday I shown you the execution from here also, right? From the XML file, we are trying to do the execution, right? Can we try to execute that one and see it? Now, what I'll try to do, I'll just comment this thing so that we can have that clarity. Okay. Now I have in suit. This is Chris suit. Okay. In the Chris suit, I wanted to execute bugs test. Now in this particular bugs test, I have 2 classes. I wanted to execute boss ng and big boss ng. Okay. Now let's see what things goes on. Now you see here I have basic the statements @ test, because this is a simple thing. First we executed test, right? Now let's see how things goes on. The issues are there, right? Now it is on. Okay. Now let me execute this particular file from the TestNG. Let's see the console and try to understand what it happened. Okay. Now, if you see here, I said that this class this class I'm executing it, I defined, sorry, and I defined @test with this symbol, right? Now you see here, @test DB connected in the starting ones and in the ending ones. Now, then what it happened? It started to print the statements. So now these are coming from the boss ng files. Now this is start from the big boss ng files. Now with the big boss, this is what my class, because for this I don't have my class. Before and after class we didn't given it, right? So now for this one, it taken that particular class, before class and after class. And these are before method and after method and then statements. Now for this class and for this class, test executed only once. Before and after test executed only once. Now I'll make some small change here. What I'll try to do, I'll add before and after class for this one also, so that, you know, this is in big boss class, right? I'll just go here and I'll try to add here control shift F. So I just align properly. Now here what I can say is, I'll give another symbol, the triple hash. I am in boss class. Okay. Same thing I'll try to give here. After. Okay. Now before class and after class. Now you see here, I have big boss 1, 2, 3, 4 and before and after class. Now once again, I'll try to execute from here. Now you see here, suit consists of test. Now this test will have these classes. Now if I started to execute this one, you see here, my test, I have given before test, right? So this is what my before test and this is what my after test. And for this particular class, I created just now, right? Boss, I'm in boss class. And after class, I have boss, I'm in after boss class. You see it, right? Now, this is second file, second class file, big boss class. For big boss class, this is before class. Boss, I'm opening the browser. And boss, I'm closing all the browsers. And it have printed the before method, after method, before method, after method. And these statements are inbox, outbox, compose mail, and all these things there. And you see here, overall, this is the Chris suit. 7 tests, all 7 tests are passed. So now this is what is taken from these two classes. So that is the means importance of before test and after test. So before test and after test, if you define once, if you have 100 classes, it will execute it in the 100 class, means before 100 classes once and after 100 classes once. And class level, it will be executing before class and after class. Method will be executed before method and after method. Till here, any questions? Any questions?
Multiple classes under the test, that classes,
Yeah,
plural
now
classes, plural classes.
yes, you can have this one. The same thing I have been called one more time. Same thing one more time also I called. So now how many classes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now even after this one, for 6 classes also, this test, before test and after test will execute once. Let me see. Let's see that.
No, just asking the classes on plural.
These classes?
Oh yes.
Huh.
Can I have multiple for in the under the test?
Why you required? You know, you are trying to say that can I have like this?
Yeah, copy of.
But why you require this? Now you can have the same classes under this also, right? So now we have these classes and then you can keep the same classes here.
Okay.
See, what is your intention of the classes? I wanted to have more number of classes that you can add here itself, right? There's no point of having once again this particular classes tag, right? Okay, now if I executed this one, what had happened? Did you see it? Okay, I should have given the different names because it was checking only the file names. See, what it was happening is I just tried to give the same class files again and again. But what it was trying to take is, hey, this class name and this class name is same, right? It was only executing for once. If I have a different classes, you can try to see that particular example.
Okay, it validating that class name.
Yes, yes. It is by default the TestNG is validating the class name.
Okay.
So if you see here, guys, if you have been given it, even if you have given 100 classes like this, before test will execute only once, and after test will execute only once. And for every class, now for every class, this will have the before test and after test. Sorry, before class and after class. So by practice, you can understand now. So now the theoretically you need to understand suit consists of tests. Test consists of classes. Classes consists of multiple classes. And each class consists of multiple methods. Methods will have the before method and after method. Now, I wanted to run before suit and after suit. Now we are done with the test suit, right? The last one is at suit level. So now if you see here, till here we have been discussed. Now the last and the topmost priority is suit. Now if you wanted to implement the suit level, now you see here, a suit consists of multiple
tests.
That's it. If you see here, the suit would be executed from this level. So now Chris suit, now this is before suit, and then this is after suit. So now I can have means this suit, this particular, if I implemented before suit and after suit, before this test, before both the tests, it will execute once, and at the end of the test, it will execute once. That is the usage of the before suit and after suit. So if we go here, it is very simple if you understand this one. So there is no complexity at all. You understand this hierarchy, boss. Suit consists of multiple tests. A test consists of classes, multiple classes. A class consists of multiple things. Now, if I executed the before suit and after suit, the before suit will be executed at this level. This will execute only once before suit and execute after once after the execution. Now, tests will have multiple tests, means it will execute it at the multiple test level. Now, if I started to first, I'll try to execute this once, and then I'll show the before suit and after suit implementation. Now, if I execute this, see, before it was coming 7. Now it was coming 14. Why? Because 7 executions from here, 7 executions is from here. Now this is Sam's test and this is Berg's test. Okay. Now if you see the console, now let's see that. See now, this is before test, right? Boss DB connect. Now, once again, this particular things, it has been closed. Means now see, boss, I'm closing all the browsers. Now, once again, it was saying that, boss, it is a DB connect. Second time. And then it contained, once again, it was closed. Means for this particular test, it executed once, and this particular test, it executed once. Got it? So this is how the before test and after test will run. So now if you see here, at these things, the before test and after test will run. Now, if I have been given before suit, so instead of these 2 tests, it will run once at this first and once at the last. Now, if I start to implement that one, so here just go back and just give something saying that a before and after suit. Okay. I'll just some random example I was reading it. Okay. Okay. Now I'll be saying here also. This is so for the clarity, I was just trying to print. So you can understand this is before test and after test. I'll print this one also. So that we can see that statements before and after. Okay, I'm doing nothing. So just I'm adding this one so that we will have the clarity on this. So now I can print you here saying that this is also before class. I'm printing this one. I'll be having this version. So I'll go here. I'll start execution. I'll do. Okay. Let me have, now we have still 14. Let's see how things are going on here. Okay. Now you see, I'm starting this particular suit, right?
Sir, you need to
Yes, yes.
change that suit name. Before suit, after suit.
Which suit I need to change the name? Which are you talking about?
You copied after test, before test. You need to change that annotation.
See, now that is the reason it was coming here. Okay. I didn't change the annotation, right? So now this is before suit. Thank you. After suit. Guys, if you see here, now this is BS, before and after suits. Now, if you see here, this makes sense if it is at suits. This is this. This is classes. This is at methods. This all are tests. Okay. Now, if you see here, what it happened, these are the suits, these are the tests, before and after the test, classes and methods. Now, if I exclude this one, it was excluded. From here, I need to exclude it. Now, let's see this, what it happened. See, boss, I'm before suit. And boss, I'm after suit. Means whatever you implemented, this executed only once. Means if you see here, for these multiple tests, this has executed only once, before and after suit. Now come back to the test level. So now, before that one, so you can see this one also. Yesterday also we have been seeing it, right? Now, SAM's test, bugs test. Now, in the bugs and SAM's test, I have first big boss and then boss. Here I have inbox, outbox, compose mail, test methods. This executed, this class executed. And boss NG, we have this one, even this is also executed. So now I have been, these all two tests are under bugs test. Now bugs test executed. Now under SAM test, same boss and big boss. So these two classes also executed. And this is under this particular test. Now you see here the same way. You're seeing it, right? Two classes. This class methods, this class methods. Bugs test, SAM test. And both are under Chris suit. So now these are the Chris suit. So now this is how it executed. Now let me take the console again back and then see this. So we can see that particular console and then we can try to see on this one. So wanted to see the console that was closed here, right? Go here, console. You can open here. Now, first of all, we seen it before suit. Now this is a before suit, that suit level, right? The before suit, and at the last after suit we have executed. Now perfectly we got the information. Now for this particular test, I need to execute before test, it executed. Now I need to have after test. This is the before test and after test. So now I have two classes, right? Big boss ng and big boss ng. Now for this both the classes, before test and before test, after test executed here. Now if you see here, this is class level. Now big boss ng class level. I have boss class and after class. This executed. All the statements executed in that class. Now I have next another class. In big boss class, I have login, inbox, outbox, compose mode. Before and after methods executed for this. So before and after methods executed, before class, after class executed, before test and after test also executed. So now this particular SAM's test was completed. Now it is bugs test. For bugs test, before test executed, after test executed. And for this particular class, this class executed, after class executed, the statements executed here. Now this is for another class. So for this particular before class and after class, and these are the statements which it executed over here. That's it. So that is where, so now this particular before suit, before test, after test, and at a class level, these all things would be executed. Yes, this would be slightly confusing. If you really concentrate more, then that would be really easy. It is very simple. You need to know that if you are from executing it here, so how this before test and after test will work, and before suit, after suit will be work, before class, after class will be working. You can understand on in these implementations. Why I should know all these things means you should know when we created a frameworks in this one. So with this particular frameworks, this would be, you'll be getting a lot of information. Okay. And oh, it's already 10:33. Guys, I need to jump for another call. So guys, what you need to do for tomorrow,